hotel to the bar. Young girl with an accent, with a backband, ass out to the whole world. We can vibe out for the night. Stepping outside for a light. No coke and I just smoke vape.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Austish, and today we're talking about the first time I quote unquote smoked weed. And it's a funny story, and it's not what you think it is. You need to listen to the entire story, and it'll sound whack, man. But just listen to the story. It's kind of funny. I was thinking about this one day. I was talking to my friend, and we were like talking about weed and what it would be like to smoke weed and the consequences of smoking weed and if we ever wanted to smoke weed ever. And we both agreed on that we would only do it once and never want to do it again because we don't want to get hooked on it and we don't want to become potheads and shit like that. So one day I was telling him about how I got a bag of weed, and he was like, "Nah, dude, I don't believe it." I'm like, "Come over to my house, I will show you this time." And he's like, "Okay, fine." And I told him the story of how I got it, and I was like, "See, there's this guy that liked my mom, and I was talking to him, and he was a pot dealer, and when he was like back in the day, and he still had some weed left around, so I was like, he gave it to me," and that was the story I said. So he comes to my house, and I take the bag out. He looks at it, and he's like, "This really doesn't seem like weed." And I'm like, "Yeah, but he chopped it up real fine, and it's sort of different, and it's kind of old and crappier, but it'll still be good enough." So he's like, "Okay, fine." So we go downstairs, and we get paper and scissors and tape, and we go into my garage, and we're doing it. We're making the joints. And I have my iPod, and he has my Pandora on, like, I don't know, Chief Keef or one of those hardcore influenced weed rap stations. But I like rap, but Chief Keef was what it was, I think. He was like, "Okay, how do we do this?" And I'm like, "I don't know, I'll go first." So I do it, and I couldn't do it because I'd never smoked before. I never knew how to inhale the fumes. So I plugged my nose, and I sucked in, and then I held it. I didn't want to swallow it or anything like that. So I put it back. I give it back to him, and I start coughing. And he's like, "Dude, you barely got anything. Here, let me try." So he does it, and he's like, he does it. He barely had any, but he still did it better than I did. So then we keep doing it and do it. Finally, we get to the point where we don't have to hold our noses anymore. And we did it pretty good. We breathed this fumes in, and then we would, like, blow it out, you know? And we were trying to make O's and all that shit that you see other people do, but it burned our tongues really bad. It burned, and it tasted horrible, and it sucked. And he's like, "Dude, this sucks so bad." Alright, so what are we gonna do now? And I guess we kind of talked about it, and my other friend wanted to hear about this. I told my other friend about this, and my friend and I told my other friend, and I was like, "Dude, it was close to the end of school year anyways, and we were all sick and tired of school." And I was just like, "Yo, man, should we just, like, go? We should ditch school, you know?" And he's like, "Oh, ditch school when?" And I'm like, "I don't know, sometime soon." And then my friend came up to me, and he's like, "Dude, you want to do it now?" I'm like, No, not now. They'll know. I always skip this class anyway, so they're always up my ass about going to this class." But that was a year ago, so I don't know why they still think I skipped that class. But anyways, after that class was study hall, and we were tired, and we wanted to go home, and we were sick of it. So I got my other friend and my friend. We came together, and we were like, "Alright, dude, so we gotta sneak out of here." It was the end of the school day anyways, so I didn't think anyone was gonna care that we were leaving, because we had like an hour, if that, left of study hall, and all we do there is just sit on our asses and piss the teacher off anyways. So we all left, and I don't know how we pulled it off, but we did. And we went back routes. We took the long roads that nobody goes down because we didn't want anybody to see us. Because think about it, kids walking around during school hours, if an adult sees that, or a cop, and it's a small town, so word travels very fast. We got to my house, and I was like, "Oh shit, my mom's home." I'm like, "Dude, we can't do this. I'm like, "Dude, come on." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Let's go down this woods." So we all go down into these woods, and they're like, "Dude, I have to piss, and I'm like, I know I have to take a big crap, but I'm not going inside with my mom there. So he takes a piss, and we're like behind some shack that, I don't know, fucking haunted shack of some old 1980 thing, I don't know, was broken down. But we were waiting there. I'm like, dude, we gotta wait until the bus comes now. And he's like, yeah, I guess. We waited for a little bit, and then we walked up to my mom's house, and she saw us and all that, and I'm like, yeah, I walked home with my friend here, and I introduced my new friend that my mom never met. The other one she knew pretty good, but my other friend's like, dude, we shouldn't have ditched school. This is gonna bite us in the ass. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it might, but no, it won't. My other friend was telling us, no, it won't. And I'm like, I don't know, man. It was the end of the school day, and I don't think that teacher really likes us anyways. We went to these bathrooms, public bathrooms, and they had locks on them. So we brought the weed and everything, and we locked the doors, and we started doing it. We were smoking this, all that, and he's like, dude, this is doing nothing to me. And this other friend of mine said that he's also had actual weed experiences with other people before he came to our school. So I was like, all right, that's cool. But then once we were all done, it burned our throat like hell. There was ashes everywhere. You know what? Turn on that sink. We gotta wet this down right now. We can't leave ashes here. So we start throwing water. We were taking waters in our hands, scooping the water and throwing it all over the bathroom. So we went back to my house, and then we sprayed ourselves down, chewed gum, and we did everything to get the smell off of us. And the next few days at school, my friend and my other friend got in trouble. I don't know why they got in trouble and I didn't, but they didn't get in that much trouble because my other friend is shitty. He's like, he doesn't know what to do when you get in trouble. My other friend, the one that first went to my house before we all gathered up and went to my house, he knew how to talk his way out of situations for him and my other friend. So I'm like, okay, that's good. They barely dodged a bullet, but they did, and nothing happened to me at all. Nobody. And I'm like, dude, she doesn't know about me. They don't know about me. Don't bring up my name. And we all had good plans and stuff like that. So, yeah, I was like, okay, fine, do that. Yep, let's do it. And, nothing really happened to us. Nothing really happened to me at all, actually. Next day, another one of my friends comes up. He's like, so I heard you and those guys were smoking weed in your garage. I'm like, what? No, you didn't hear that nowhere. No, that's fake. And he's like, oh yeah, And finally, it all comes together. We all come together, and I'm like, dude, you didn't smoke weed. You never smoked weed. You never did. You guys never smoked weed. You weren't smoking weed. You were smoking a paper rolled up with basil leaves. Basil leaves and seasoning. That's what was in there. They both were kind of like, yeah, I thought something was strange about that. And I was like, okay, at least you guys weren't complete the idiots that try to act cool when they get high, you know, they act like they're high. That's what I did it for. And they didn't really do it. And I was like, okay, good. So I know my friends aren't idiots. Complete idiots at least. And I know that one that talked his way out of the situation, he didn't care. He swallowed smoke after every time. And me and my other friend were like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Stop swallowing smoke. And I was kind of wondering, is it healthy to smoke seasoning? And I was like, alright, fine, whatever, man. But yeah, that's my first time ever, quote-unquote, smoking weed. And I thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. And yeah, thanks for watching.